Hello, All the Glory family. We are so honored that you took the time to listen in today. You are in for a treat. Today, we connect with Ebony Amos, who shares her journey as it relates to having a daughter with childhood cancer. Welcome to the site.
My pleasure. I'm glad you took the time to reach out to me so that I could share a bit about what we're going through and hopefully support someone else through the same journey.
Yes, and I thank you so much for agreeing to come on the site and for allowing us to just take a little peek into your life. This situation is one that I do not take lightly. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay. So what I want to do is I just want you to get a little bit into what it is that's going on with your daughter's name is Sabriye. So just kind of give us an idea of just who she is and just tell us about her.
Okay. Sabriye is my youngest daughter, my youngest of three. I have two older daughters, my husband and Darren and I. We actually have three daughters. Our oldest is 15, our second daughter is 12, and Sabriye is the youngest at 7.
Teenagers.
Exactly. When Sabriye was 6 and in the first grade, she just developed a fever that wasn't going anywhere, and we couldn't figure out the cause of it. We took her to the doctor. We took her to the emergency room, and the pediatricians just kept saying it. First they told us she had strep, so we did antibiotics, and then they came back and said she still kept running a fever. So the pediatrician said, "Oh, well, it's just a virus that just has to run its course." Well, if you know anything about me, my faith is ever present. One of the things I learned from my grandmother. So me, as a family, we did not take that for an answer. We just kept pushing because I'm like, there's something more severe. My kid should not be running a fever for 10 days, for 12 days, with no reason. So we took her to different doctors. We took her to the pediatrician. We took her to the emergency room. And again, we're being told that we don't know what it is. So finally, about 17 days later from when it first started, after she had been treated for strep, we took her back to another pediatrician, same practice, but a different doctor saw her this time. And the doctor she comes from a different area. She comes from Atlanta, so she's more familiar with unusual conditions and things like that. And so she initially told us that, that Sabriye's blood counts were kind of high and that she wanted to do some additional checks. So fast forward, 24 hours later, she calls me back in the morning with the results and says, "Hey, I think she needs to come and get an antibiotic. There's something going on. I'm not quite sure what it is, but she needs to come get an antibiotic at our office." Okay, fine. Well, as you know, by this time, it's December 31st, 2013, New Year's Eve. So my husband and I, we head to the pediatrician's office with our daughter, who's 6 at the time, and the doctor, draws more labs, asks a bunch of extra questions, and then she tells us that she is going to have to admit Sabriye to the hospital, for a couple of days just because there's something going on with her and just to give her antibiotics because they think it might be something different, might be osteomyelitis. Okay. So obviously we're shocked. Okay, wait a minute. What do you mean? What is this?
So you even think that it's something that deep?
Absolutely. And, it's New Year's Eve. Wait a minute. We got plans. I'm sorry.
That's right.
This is not on my list. I mean, we don't go out. We don't do the clubs and all of that. But we like to spend time together as a family. We, we're just shocked. I mean, obviously, because she had been sick.
So this was just totally unexpected.
Totally unexpected. So that same day, this is December 31st, Tuesday, December 31st, 2013, we go to CHKD with the plans of being admitted for a couple of days to treat for some unknown infection. She did let us know that possibly she would have somebody from the infectious disease service to check out Sabriye, check out her case, and figure out what's going on with her. Again, not shocking. We'd already kind of said, okay, we can deal with this. We can figure it out. We can postpone some things. We can work some things out.
Right.
Well, we get checked into the room, and as we go to the nursing unit, the first thing I noticed as I'm entering the unit were the words hematology oncology unit. Well, I've worked in the medical field for over 20 years. Those are not the words that you want to see as a parent. Those are not the words that you want to see as a family member. So immediately I was taken aback because I'm like, wait a minute. This is an 8-floor facility. There's other places you can put my child the size on a hematology oncology unit. And so
yes.
I was assured by the nurses, oh, no, this just may be where we have a bed available. There are other units available. No. It doesn't mean that's why she's here. And so, okay, I stood down. I held my mule, didn't say anything more, just let it go for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Which, again, is not my normal spirit about something, especially when you have something nagging in the back of your mind that this is not going to work out. This is going to be different.
Because at this moment, you don't know what's going on.
No. At this moment,
so
all I know
that
is that
is
my
shocking.
6-year-old is here. Yep, all I know is she's here for antibiotics. That's all I know.
Right.
Well, we get checked into the room. About 20 minutes later, the phone rings in the room, the hospital phone. It rings in the room, and I'm like, wait a minute, nobody knows I'm here. So why is this phone ringing? My husband had just left to go home and get Sabriye's clothes and to go pick up her sisters and everything else and give them a heads up on what was going on. But I had my cell phone, so he's not going to call me on the room. He didn't even know the room number. We don't go to CHKD. We don't know anything about this. And so the room phone rings. And then I said, okay, well, maybe it's the people from admitting calling to ask a question or something like that. That's okay. I know. They ask questions. No problem. So I answer the phone, and it turns out that it's my daughter's pediatrician who had admitted her. And, of course, she tells me the most devastating thing you never want to hear. She tells me that my 6-year-old daughter has leukemia.
My God.
Needless to say, I was taken aback. I was astounded.
I can't even begin to say or imagine what that feels like. But that moment that they gave you that call and gave you that, what were your thoughts?
Fear. Because leukemia is cancer. Leukemia is cancer of the blood. And so everybody knows somebody that has had cancer of any form, of any type, of any kind. Whether it's skin cancer, it's bone cancer, it's lung cancer. My grandmother died from pancreatic cancer. Everybody knows somebody that's had cancer. So you don't want cancer in your family. You don't want cancer for your 6-year-old child.
That's right. That's right.
So it was gut-wrenching.
What does she like to do?
Does
she like school?
Okay. Oh, yes. She's honor student. First grade, honor roll. She's academically gifted. She loves to sing. She loves to dance. And, in fact, during this time period, when she was right before she was even diagnosed, she was actually, even after she was diagnosed, she was dancing. She was, she was preparing for recital, taking hip-hop classes on a company dance team at the dance studio that they attend.
So she was
dancing
doing it
alongside her sisters. Absolutely. She danced alongside of her sisters. She was actually doing hip-hop team, and previous to that, she was doing a competitive jazz team, for little kids. So, so she likes to dance. She likes to sing. Okay. She likes to draw. She likes to art. She loves to cook. And just enjoys spending time playing games.
So would you say that she's generally a happy child?
Oh, absolutely. Happy, she's happy. She's well-adjusted. She's fun. She likes to laugh and play pranks on people. She was a 6-year-old. She's now 7. We'll talk about that in a minute. She's now 7, but again, she likes some of those same things that she liked back then. Even now, 18 months later, she still enjoys, playing pranks on her sisters. Mm-hmm. She enjoys having fun. Even after treatment, she enjoys cooking and doing different things. Today she had treatment, and the last thing she did before she left was played a prank on the technician that was providing her treatment. So that's
my
what
girl.
she likes to do. Yeah, she's a happy kid. She just enjoys having fun. Yeah. She likes, she has dreams. that she wants to do. And
so is she in school at this point?
No. She has not been in school since mid-March. With chemo, just to kind of give you some basis for it, with chemo, as you continue to take chemo, it wipes out your immune system. And since we were in the middle of flu season, she wasn't able to go to school because her counts were so low, which would make her more susceptible to a basic infection.
Right.
Like, for instance, if you get a cold or a virus or something like that, you have the ability to fight it off and to rebound from it. Well, a person that's immunosuppressed, as in patients with chemo or patients with any type of immunosuppressive therapy, they don't have that ability to fight off infections. So a simple infection for them can land them in the hospital. So that's kind of where we were. So mid-March, she was coming off of chemo, and so that's why she wasn't able to go in school. But her teacher sends me her assignments, so we do all of her assignments remotely, and then we'll send them back to her teacher. She still has been able to maintain honor roll. There's a homebound teacher that works with her when she's in state so that she can get stuff done there as well.
Wow, that is amazing. So bring me back to the day that you got the call and where we go from there. Okay.
So what happened then, that was, like I said, December 31st, 2013, when the doctor told me. After that, immediately, that same day, the doctor was letting me know what she had been diagnosed with, and she was also letting me know that her care was now being transferred to an oncologist. An oncologist is a doctor that specializes in cancers, in blood disorders. So her care has been transferred now, and my doctor did not want me to be, didn't want me to find out about it because the doctor came in the room. She wanted to tell me herself, this is what's going on. She didn't want me to be snowballed by the oncologist coming in the room.
Right.
Which I appreciate that.
Yes, because you were already thrown off by the door.
Exactly.
The floor you were on. So, yeah, I can imagine.
So,
yeah.
Right. So, I appreciate that. She did want to let me know what was going on and everything else so that I wouldn't be, snowballed by it. And then so we met with the oncologist on that day. We came up with a treatment plan that included chemo, bone marrow testing, spinal taps, and she underwent chemotherapy starting on January 2nd. So essentially 2 days after she was diagnosed, chemo had started.
Okay.
They let her have January 1st off to have all the snacks she wanted and just to have a normal day. But on January 2nd, they began placing lines and preparing for her chemo treatment and pretty much started chemo on that very day.
Okay.
And so what happened, we did chemo for 9 months, inpatient, outpatient, a few bumps in the road and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But even throughout all those things, you still know you have to hold on to something. You have to have faith in the higher power. And that's where I come from. That's what I learned.
Wow. So what were you saying to yourself? What were did you have any scriptures that you held on to? What were you saying to yourself?
Yeah, a couple things, actually. A couple things that stick with me. My grandmother was a woman of incredible faith. In fact, a lot of my faith comes from her. Even in the face, when she was diagnosed with her own cancer, she told me, she said, you guys have got to stick together. You guys are a family. You have to stick together. So with all that, one of the things that my grandmother's favorite scripture was, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So that becomes a mantra for me to a point. I have bunches of them. I mean, I have many of them. Faith is the evidence of things. Yeah, faith is the evidence of things not seen but heard. That is my favorite. That is the one I have to stick with. And, I stick with, that's my go-to one forever. I think, for me, I think the biggest thing is just knowing, that you have to believe in something bigger than this. Yeah. Bigger than the doctors, bigger than the treatments.
That's right. That's right.
Because you have to.
Because if you didn't, you'd be defeated. You have to have hope in the fact that she can get through this and that there's a God that is controlling the situation entirely. Amen. Amen.
Yeah, so I created, we have a webpage called Sabriye Fight. I have prayer angels, and I keep everybody updated on what's going on with her. But I also believe that you have to have strength that comes from within. And everybody looks at me. Everybody has their own struggles and trials and tribulations, but people look at me and, you never know who you have an opportunity to help. And that's why even reaching out to you, talking to you today, was a good opportunity to share my story. Whether it benefits someone or not, but just enough. You don't know how much strength you have to have until being strong is all you got, and that's kind of where I am.
Right.
You don't know where you're going to pull from, but you know you got to. You got to keep moving. You got to keep pressing on.
Yes, yes.
Daughter,
you said something I read on the page. I'm not sure because I've read Sabriye's page several times, and I actually am inspired by her page because there's prayers on her page. There is, inspirational words. There's,
Absolutely.
updates about her day, and it's a very, very positive place to be. And I saw something on there, and you said a mother's strength is braided into her child. It shows when you least expect it. And I just bust out crying because a lot of times people don't understand how strong a mother has to be to have a child, going through any type of thing that your child goes through. It's just natural in us to feel that way. But when she sees your strength, she draws from it.
Absolutely.
And sometimes, you said, you have to find a way to fill that back up.
That's right. And the thing is,
and so
failure is not an option. No, failure is not an option.
Mm-hmm.
And
because can you imagine if she saw you defeated?
Oh, no.
Then she would feel like, wow, if mommy and dad is defeated, then what am I going to do?
Absolutely.
And so it's just amazing that, that you have the strength that you have. And I thank God for it, because sometimes we just don't know what to do. And when you don't know what to do, you just stand in it.
Absolutely.
And you believe it. And I thank God for your grandmother. I personally knew your grandmother and went to church with your grandmother.
I know.
So I know the faith that she drew from. And if you have any of that in you, then I know where you are. And that's just awesome. And so as a parent, I can't pretend to even imagine where you are. But what do you say to other parents who may have gotten the same diagnosis or something else?
What I typically say to anybody is this. You don't know what the future holds. There is no failure in God. You don't know where this road is going to lead. None of us do. I mean, you can walk out the door and get hit by a bus. You weren't expecting it. I wasn't expecting this. But right. I do know that you got to keep moving. You don't have – quitting is not an option, and that's what I tell anybody. You can't quit. You have to persevere. Yeah. And like I told you earlier, Sabriye's name means persevere. And so you find that strength. When I look at my daughter's eyes, if she's going through a treatment that I know is not going to be fun for her, or something that she's not going to enjoy, or something that's going to be painful or hard or difficult, I have to find some degree of strength from somewhere. And you pull from that reserve. I don't know where it comes from. You get it from within. You get it from God. You get it from a scripture. You get it from whatever you have to get it from, whatever your source is, whatever your fountain is. But you keep on moving on, because the child looks at you and looks in your eyes, and they sense your fear. They sense your when you start to waver. So you have to be strong enough, and you pull it from wherever you can. I find inspiration in anything. I was riding down the street a couple weeks ago, and I saw a sign at a church, and it says, faith stops here, and then you keep going, or something like that. But it was just a random little marquee at a church, but you find different things. When she first was diagnosed, I started writing down a variety of thoughts. I don't know why. Day one, the day she was diagnosed, I just started writing words. And so right when you called me, I was looking over some of those words. And, you think about all the terms and all the things you're learning through this experience, through this journey. And you say, okay, what am I going to do with all this stuff? Probably about 20 days into it, I didn't have to write as much. But I still knew that I still had to find something, and I drew strength from somewhere. So we came up with her Sabriye Fight Facebook page so that we could provide inspiration to other people. I mean, everybody has a story. Everybody has a story, and you never know where your story is going to end. But it's what you do in the middle that's going to make the difference.
That is so true. It is what you do in the middle. And when you think about it, it's like people looking at her page and and being inspired by what they see, and even more so being inspired by the family and how everyone
Absolutely.
has come together to join in the fight. It's amazing to even watch, and it shows other people that they can pull together as a family. Sometimes stuff like this will tear a family apart.
Yeah,
but that's not the time to be torn apart. It's a time to pull together and everybody just cover each other in prayer and cover each other in love and everything that comes with it, because that's what is needed at this point is love.
Absolutely. And I can honestly tell you that through this journey, because it has been a journey, right now she is scheduled to go have a blood transplant done, a bone marrow transplant done on April 21st at Duke University. So currently I'm actually at Duke right now doing pre-treatments and things like that in order to wipe her immune system out so that her immune system can be replaced with the healthy bone marrow of her sister, my 12-year-old daughter, Taryn.
So she was a match.
A perfect match, a perfect genetic match.
Wow.
She had a 1 in 5 shot. Every patient has a 1 in 5 shot of having a family member that's a match. And luckily, Sabriye had a perfect match in her own house with her sister. And so by having a perfect match, it means that it'll lessen the chance of rejection, and it gives a more favorable outcome. There is no guarantees, but it's a more favorable, positive outcome.
But it's definitely to give the family hope that things will get better.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I can tell you.
Through.
Oh, honestly, I'm claiming victory over this. And I can tell you that as a family, community, as her dance friends, her school, my people that I work with, my husband's job, everybody has come together to show support and to provide love because they know this little girl. Sabriye she's an amazing kid. She's my kid, but she's an amazing kid. She's loving.
Right.
The school nurse, the school nurse even sent me an email last summer just telling me that Sabriye just stops by the nurse's office. Even if she doesn't need her inhaler, she just stops by to give her a hug. Just because. So she has touched a lot of people, and she will continue to do big things. Okay,
so at the end of the day, she's going in to get a transplant on the 21st.
Correct.
And I know that she has products and things that are out that people are purchasing to help in the fight. So where would people go to get those things?
Couple things. We have created a Sabriye's Fight Facebook page, and it's Sabriye's Fight at Facebook, and it's actually, her name is spelled Sabriye, ''S, Fight, and it's on Facebook. You can certainly go to our Facebook page to find out information if you want to donate, if you want to purchase T-shirts, because we are selling T-shirts. We also have done the elastic bands to commemorate her transplant. We did them last year when she was first diagnosed, but we're doing them again now this year because she's actually going to transplant. And the color of a bone marrow transplant is actually green, so we've done green bands this year, whereas last year's bands were orange. Sabriye's favorite color is yellow. And we used a butterfly theme to, as Sabriye's character or as her theme for her site and also for pretty much everything that's Team Sabriye. Because butterflies, as you know, they start out as caterpillars. They go through a metamorphosis, but they come out on the other side as a beautiful butterfly.
Yes, they do.
So we call ourselves the Butterfly Brigade. Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
That's cute.
The Butterfly Brigade.
That's right.
Absolutely. So.
Okay, now didn't you guys have a walk for her recently?
It's actually going to be at Durham on May 2nd.
Okay. I know I saw something about a walk coming up.
Yeah, it's in Durham on May 2nd at Duke University because that's where her transplant is going to be taking place. So on May 2nd at Duke University, they're doing the Rainbow of Heroes Walk to support the pediatric bone marrow program.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's on May 2nd. So if anybody wants to follow Sabriye's Fight, to find out more information, to find out how she's doing, or just to stop in and give us something inspirational messages, then certainly go to Sabriye's Fight on Facebook.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here with us. We are going to keep her and your family in prayer. we want to extend to everybody in the family. If you want to join in the fight by getting T-shirts and getting the bracelets and all that good stuff, say a wonderful word to drop on the site, please do so. We're going to be putting it out heavily over the next couple of weeks, just to get people to incite prayers and different things for her process and her journey. And we are believing, Jesus, that she's going to come out on the other side of this like the butterfly. And I'm just awesome that you took the time to sit with us today.
Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to share Sabriye's story and the story of so many kids facing childhood cancer these days.